Good evening, friends. Good evening, humans. Did you notice how many of these historians, the warmongers, the old politicians are trying to bring into you the human, the average human being, a fear of potential war is going to come. The Third World War will appear and will be defenseless against some, foreign invaders or internal invaders who are attacking us from the outside. They are planning to bring the Muslim religion everywhere, yet nobody wanna say why we should worry. Why we should be so concerned about something that we still didn't experience, yet they're saying it was done before in the previous books of the history. So title for today, it goes like this: History repeats itself no more. To my very average understanding of history is nothing else but a form of programming, where we as a very dull human, not taking it too seriously by taking it very, very true and very seriously. We take it to the point of seriousness that as soon as whoever government officials say, let's go to war against Vietnam, against Serbia, against each other, against, Iraq, Ukraine goes against another ones who are same Ukrainians people, yet they just, they have a different accent, different, view of something. But we can go to war because it was before done. Now we have to repeat the same mistakes as before. Well, of course I'm mocking all this old historical programming that we don't have to take it as for granted. We don't have to take them as doing the same old stupid mistakes and living the same old stupid consequences. Because what is the consequence when the war came? What is the consequence when the atomic bomb was dropped on Japan or Hiroshima or I think March 7th in Fukushima? So this is another very purposeful attack that history is supposed to repeat itself. Look what's happening when we don't honor the gods in the way that the politicians want us. The gods of war, the gods of destruction, the gods of, despair. Yet maybe there is this nice little, fluffy God who really doesn't care that we can live our lives as we choose to, not as we have been programmed to choose to. So, how to choose? Where to go from this point? Now they're cooking in North Korea. Who cares what kind of atomic weapons they could develop if everybody knows that it's so easy to defend against any kind of missiles, non-violently. As soon as the missiles start flying off the ground, they can be disabled. Technology exists for many years. Yet all this rhetorics, all this military so-called actions against somebody else, talking little guns going around, it's ludicrous that we spent months and years talking about the potential downfall of a nuclear blast if this comes into Seoul or in South Korea or anywhere else, in Japan if they attack, or they can attack North America. Wow, imagine this. So we have to start imagining this crap and not even considering maybe these freaks are lying. And they're telling you history is repeating itself, history is repeating. Yes, if you're stupid, same old dude that doesn't want to change. But if you become, let's say, wiser, that as civilization grows older, let's say, through the centuries, we become wiser. So allow us, or allow yourself to become wiser, not to repeat the same old stupid mistakes going into the wars of any kind. Knowing, not even that you don't have to get worried like a single millisecond for somebody will attack you or bomb you or rape you or anything like this. Because now you know better. I have a friend. She walks every night or every day with the little pepper spray. And I'm basically asking her, what are you doing this for? What are you afraid of? Somebody will steal the money that you don't have? What? Somebody will rape you? So when you're going around with these little pepper sprays or some kind of preventative mechanisms of defense, you're actually advertising everywhere that you want to be raped. You want to be attacked. This is what America is doing now. They want to be attacked by a nuclear bomb or whatever, dirty nuclear bomb or some kind of middle range missile, whatever crap they bring in. So when they bring this in front, like in the news, in rhetorics of dealing with the international, other international companies and countries, we are just asking to be smacked in the butt. Nothing else. So we are almost like riding a new timeline where the Third World War is imminent. Yet I tell you, there is a way to repercussion this, to make it a different choice. Choose not to believe our old historians, our old way of doing mistakes. Because we see the results of these mistakes, yet we don't want to go a little bit deeper and say, like, who made these stupid choices? Who made a choice to preventively attack, doesn't matter, Vietnam, for whatever reasons, which I have no clue. Let's see, even if I'm digging down to these so-called history books, Nixon times, why they went and sent hundreds of thousands of troops there. Well, I know the reason, but they are not publicly announced. And when people realize why publicly not announced reasons are much more sinister than anything else, why many wars were led on the old Yugoslavia or Balkan region, because it's a very perfect place to do the sacrificial rituals and mass, like massive scale. Why there always a big fights, or let's say the final war fights are happening on a certain fields or certain areas of Europe or in America, if you watch there, because they need, this is a chosen place where they can drain as much blood and human sacrificial energy out of all of these bodies of ours that were actually dumped there to fight each other and kill each other or destroy as many human lives as possible. Same as Fukushima, Nagasaki, Chernobyl. These are massive places. Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, recent ones, the war in like attacking the Serbia, bombing the Belgrade. These are all sacrificial events that, if you check the dates and the way how these freaks are working, is very, very sinister. Nothing is in the open, nothing is transparent. So a little bit caution to whoever you, the media guys, even some of the good media guys that I'm listening now are, I don't know how to describe it better, but they're stupefied by this military rhetorics. Who cares what some stupid general thinks? What general means what? To my language, nothing. Doctor means nothing, because these doctors heal nobody. General cannot conquer anybody. Better, general cannot prevent that anybody will be killed, or they cannot save anybody. Yet they can conquer and kill as many as they choose to, because if they are very nuts, they can just use all this kind of variety of weapons that some crazy scientists developed, and this perpetuum mobile war goes on and on. So stop asking these stupid generals what they think, honestly. Yes, there is a time to say that's enough, no more. But everybody has to take care of their own house first. So first clear, dear Trump, dear whoever, Kelly, generals, and all the other ones inside the United States, clear your own Senate, clear your own Congress of all these weasels and deep state agenda that it was just rotting America within. Clear Canadian government. Deduct yourself from the Queen Elizabeth and all her cronies. Remove all these sirs and ladies titles from all the freaks who get it as a very valuable, crown vassals. So this is what we can start doing it, but inside our own houses. Don't go talk me about the Korea or Vietnam's or whoever else. Russia is now provoking NATO by putting their own defensive forces inside the Russia, and stupid NATO is talking about this as this is a proof they want to attack us. Are you mad? And this is what, honestly, some kind of sane media guys. What's his name? Tucker. Then Lou Dobbs. Then Hannity. Good guys. Yet they cannot allow this kind of stupidity. They start warmongering, not even understanding what damage they are doing. Not only to their own, like let's say self and their own energetics, but to the nation. Because nations are listening, so they become this fake news, what they are actually very complaining about, and they are trying to get rid of from the Democrats. I want you to start thinking deeper. And I'm referring this to mostly the media people who are, not so wise. Because they just go and blabbing what agenda comes from the political party. What if Trump doesn't want to go to war? What if Trump doesn't want to go to any kind of nuclear, quarrels between anybody? This should be a narrative for every single one of us. There is a solution for every problem. There is a non-violent solution for every single war infringement. So let's find them. You have to find them because you have to take care of your own country. Start doing investigations inside the America for the American people. Don't care about what they're going to do with Japan or whatever North Koreans will do with the South Koreans. Who cares? Take care of your own house. Take care of your own physical body. And only then you can be in position to help anybody else. Clear your finances. Disclose what Federal Reserve did to people for centuries. Disclose what scam the lawyers and the bankers were doing over taxations. IRS is absolutely illegal entity. Canadian taxation, CRA, same thing. And nobody is openly talking about this. You Canadians have to talk about the Canadian taxations. Americans have to talk about taxations inside the America and nothing else. There is no infringement that you can go across the border and blab something about what Russians are doing or what North Koreans are doing until you resolve your own problems within the country, within your government, within your political system, and within your so-called democracy, which you don't really respect at all. So, is there to be any wars? If you choose to, but I choose not to. I choose to actually defy every single one of you who's bringing war as an only option, who's bringing bombing anybody else for whatever other reasons. Whatever stupid excuses you can bring, they are ridiculous, because you're not by Creator's act. You're not here to hurt anybody else. You're just here to make your own choices for your own betterment. For your own betterment. Not to teach anybody else a lesson. Not to preach anybody else's, your own religion or your own ways how you do stuff. That is all the perfect. This is what we get from our history. Very fake history. Very, very fake history. That is filled with wars, with so-called heroes of the war. These are not heroes. These are the victims of false systems. So let's help these people around us to realize what this life means, what life is worth. Life is worth living. Life is not worth fighting. Life is worth enjoying it. Life is not worth scolding anybody else. So join me in realizations that we are only creators for our own life. That we can choose not to have a single war ever again. Or you can go with the old ways and you'll basically end up again underground, 6 feet or 100 feet underground in the bunkers that you are hiding from nuclear fallout that you caused by not saying anything. So start saying openly,